Sania Mirza has been a trailblazer for a long, long time. Since the time she enthralled us in 2003, winning the junior Wimbledon title, to the time she retired in early 2023, for 2 decades, she captured national imagination, broke barriers, inspired millions, and fulfilled dreams. When she took centre court in Australia with Rohan Bopanna, starting out her final Grand Slam, very few would have said that she would make the final. But that is the Sania Mirza story. Each time you challenge her, she will come and prove you wrong. She is a rebel and she is very conventional. Conventional in the sense that she, at the peak of her career, decided to have Izhan and celebrate him. Rebel in the sense she did it on her own terms, when the world told her, why are you doing it now? You've got career left. But that's Sania Mirza. You have to love her for what she's done for all of us. She's given us tremendous joy each time she stepped out on the tennis court, and in doing so, created a legacy that few will be able to match going forward. Many will tell us, why are you taking Sania Mirza as one of the athletes of the year? She retired in February of 2023. The reason that in her last Grand Slam it was a final, and to call it a day in sport on your own terms is so very rare that we have to have Sania Mirza as one of the best, even in her year of retirement. Take a look.
First of all, you know my personality, so it's very important. Let me start with there. It's very important for me when people ask me, why are you retiring rather than when? So that is the first thing that I want to put out there. So I feel like I still have the level. I still feel like I have, I'm playing well, obviously well enough to make a final of a slam and all those things. But also like to still be close to 20 in the world, playing half a year. I, didn't play since August really. So for me, I felt that, the time is right, because I'm not able to, because for me to remain at this level is just, the amount of work that's going into it is just not physically and emotionally possible for me. So when I went into Australian Open, I'm knowing that it's going to be my last slam. And for me, I enjoyed it. I was having fun. The way the people were coming and talking to me, even in the locker room, had changed a little bit. Everybody was like, oh, we're going to miss you. Like players, like just before we went on to play the final, me and Rohan were warming up, and Krejcikova was warming up for her semi-final with Siniakova, and she came and we're not great friends or anything. We've played against each other and we are compatriots, but we're not great friends or anything. And she came up to me and she just kind of gave me this huge high five, and she's like, I'm rooting for you all the way, just before the final. So it's things like that, and came off after the court, and Siniakova was like, oh my God, we were all cheering for you, because everybody wants that they wanted me to win. And it was so nice actually, because these are people who are not really my friends, so to say. These are just people I've been around. So in those ways, Australian Open was really special. I kept meeting the tournament director every day, and they kept telling me every time I was playing a match, they were like, oh, we got flowers again today. Now we have to give them to someone else, because they were getting those flowers every time I was playing a match and we kept winning. So those kind of things were happening, which was a little amusing. But for me, it was taking so much to be on that court, in terms of I was holding on to so many emotions for those 2 weeks. And as you know me well enough, I don't like to display too many emotions. I think the last time that I cried like that was probably, then that was not on camera. That was after I lost that gold medal match at Commonwealth Games right behind at the swimming pool.
And we were sitting behind, exactly.
Yeah, but that was still not on camera, So for someone who hates being so emotional in front of people, it was a big deal for me to be absolutely start bawling while, doing a speech. So it was so many things, so many wonderful things also, but also, some small anecdotes that were happening like this. And then, just the fact that it was so special. It was so special because that's where my journey really started. That was the place where everything sort of fell into place, so to say, in the whole Sania Mirza world. That's when I became that household name where everybody, and even till today, 18 years, it's been 18 years. I've played unbelievably great matches after that, won a lot of them. but people still remember the match against Serena Williams. So that's the impact that Australian Open had on my life personally, and also the people around me, and also the country. So for me, it was just so much emotion at that moment, and at that moment to be there standing with Rohan, who's one of my dearest friends, but also like the way that we were able to be there. And when I came off the court, I mean, I was actually not crying because I was actually only crying because I probably was not going to be on that stage ever again. And for me, I never really cry after losing matches. So it wasn't about that. It was just about the whole emotion that I kept inside me for those 2 weeks after making that statement. That all kind of came out together.
So the real legacy of Sania Mirza will be way more than the number of Grand Slams she has won. Go to the Tennis Academy in Hyderabad and you will know that she is already ready to give it back to the sport that she loved for 25 years of her life. The Mirza family is committed to nurturing talent, and Sania Mirza will remain a beacon of light for anyone who wants to defy norms, pick up a sport where India doesn't do really well, and break down barriers. Sania Mirza has been an inspiration to us all and will continue to remain so. As commentator, she's now got a different life. As mentor last year of the RCB, she's explored into newer terrain. But what is very important and will always be important for Indian sport is what Sania Mirza stands for. Fearlessness, commitment, passion and dedication to a cause, and to believe that everything is possible. And that's the spirit we celebrate.